Ladies and gentlemen, Violent Games here. Unfortunately, I'm coming to you with some bad news. Just kind of all over the channel. Like, I'm really just not in a good way, and I'm honestly feeling a little depressed about it. And even talking about I just feel like kind of deflated, but I guess let's just get started on the topic at hand. So, you guys know I've been working on Dishonored 2 builds for like the past couple months, and I've really been enjoying it. Your guys' feedback has been really awesome. It really reinvigorated my passion for making YouTube videos in the first place. And yeah, I wasn't getting enough views to make any ad revenue or anything, but I had a consistent audience who really enjoyed what I was doing. So, again, it was a very rewarding experience, but I think we all know that at some point it has to come to an end, especially with Dishonored Death of the Outsider on the horizon, and the fact that I'm just running out of build ideas. The series has to come to an end. The build I was currently working on, it just isn't really panning out. It's not really fun, so I don't know if I want to put it with my other Dishonored builds, because if the playstyle is not fun and accessible to everyone, I just don't feel like that's worth, slapping the Violent Games stamp of approval on a build like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that series. But by far the worst news is in regards to Dishonored 2 Death of the Outsider. Guys, I have to say this as an official announcement, and honestly, it's not because I want it to be this way. This is just how it is, and I'll explain. There will be no Dishonored Death of the Outsider builds, because there can't be any Dishonored 2 Death of the Outsider builds. I watched a gameplay reveal with either GameSpot or IGN. They did a segment of gameplay and they kind of talked about the game, and one of the developers on the Arcane side of the panel basically said that Billy Lurk, the way her progression works as far as supernatural abilities, is that she gets them early on and she gets them all at once. If I can't recommend what abilities you guys pick up because you have them all at once, I can't make builds for you. And the other depressing news about these powers once you get them all at once, let's just say I did builds off the premise of bone charms and custom loadouts and a recommended playstyle. The powers for this game seem heavily focused towards stealth, whether it's lethal or non-lethal, and it's really deflating. There are no combat abilities whatsoever that Billy has at her disposal other than her crossbow bolt gun and maybe the sword. I heard the sword gets a power. So it's what am I going to do for you guys when it comes to Death of the Outsider? I'll certainly try to construct a build, but I just don't think it's really plausible. I think with the way the game's progression works, I'm a lot more limited, to the point where I'm not even sure I can make builds. That's how bad it is. And if I were to make a build video, it'd probably last 10 to 5 minutes or something like that, ludicrously short, because there's just not enough content in the game power-wise to really go in depth about. So, yeah, I'm really screwed on that one, because my channel, honestly, I want a new series, right? And I was like, why not do a series that I'm familiar with, Dishonored builds. But that's just out of the question at this point. The way the progression works in the game completely ruins the ability for me to make builds for you guys. And to make matters worse, my life is just kind of hectic right now. Things aren't where I want them to be, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because you shouldn't air your dirty laundry on the internet. That's just some advice for all of you if you're on the internet. Don't ever air your dirty laundry because it's just unappealing. But I wanted you guys to kind of know where I was at as a content creator, because YouTube has always been a passion project for me. I'm not making a significant amount of money off this. I'm doing this because I think I know an audience that enjoys it, and if I can help you get more enjoyment out of the things I enjoy, that's enough for me. But my life has to take priority right now, guys, and that's just the way it is. And the fact that I don't have a lot of content on my mind that I can put out there for you, I'm just I feel like my hands are tied, and I wish that wasn't the case, but this is just kind of me explaining myself to my viewers so that no one is left with lingering questions oh, did he just die, or did anything happen to him? No, life just kind of happened. The fact that Dishonored Death of the Outsider not really having a lot of things for me to cover is kind of happening. But if you guys have any recommendations for series you want to see me start in the future, whether it's on a different game, whether it's a spin-off series within the games I'm already doing, like say I do top 5 lists for like Dishonored 2 or Death of the Outsider, I'm going to try to get something done with Death of the Outsider anyhow. That I'm going to try to come up with something I can do for that game, because I want to cover it. I'm sure I'll be able to do a review, obviously, because I've been playing Dishonored 2 and I love Dishonored 2 so much. So it's going to be very easy to like make a review video for Death of the Outsider. So I guess look forward to that when it happens. The game hasn't dropped yet, of course, but like, guys, my content's dead in the water. So I don't know. Just leave me suggestions in the comments. Maybe I'll start continuing old series that I kind of discontinued, like Night in the Woods. I don't know. I'm in a bind. Anyways, guys, this is Violent Games signing off.